What's up, everybody? Good evening. It's afternoon. I'm getting ahead of myself. Well, it's evening somewhere in this part of the world. But welcome to our Tuesday Tips. Today we have a very, very special guest. I'm super excited about this guest that we have on today. This young man I'm seriously proud of. But before we bring him in, let's bring in the rest of the hosts. Lady D, Brother Reg, you want to come on in? Y'all want to come on in? This is not working. I started speaking in tongue, but this is not that show. I was like, I didn't know what I was saying. But anyway, welcome, Reggie. You now you're speaking in tongue, Reggie. We cannot hear you. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I had my mic off. How's everybody doing today?
Good. This is not Friday. What are y'all doing? This is not Friday.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lady D.
Okay. Oh, I guess we're supposed to stop talking. Again, thank you guys for joining us on today. Today is all about Tuesday Tips, and we as we've been doing a series on Black entrepreneurs and Black owners and things like that, we wanted to spotlight on our millennials and how they are doing in this COVID situation, being entrepreneurs and business owners. And like I said, I'm super excited about this young man because he's personally close to me. He's my nephew. I'm super excited and proud of him, all the accomplishments he has done. So we're going to just go ahead on, and after we read his bio, we're going to bring him in just a second. Reggie, ready?
So today we have Charles Kuykendoll. Charles was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. He attended DePaul University in Greencastle, Indiana, majoring in communications and becoming a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Professionally, Charles stepped into the tech industry, recruiting for both Facebook and Airbnb before taking on his current role as head of talent acquisition for Play VS. Outside of recruiting, Charles continued his focus on making broader impact, having created Black Men at Facebook while there serving as a lead for Black at LA. While there, and also founding R&B House Party, a traveling party series focused on creating a safe space for multicultural professionals to authentically celebrate our culture through shared nostalgia of R&B music. He has partnered with a number of notable brands through these efforts and plans to continue his pursuit of continued organic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Charles Kuykendoll.
What's up, nephew?
Wow, what an intro. I'm humbled. Look at this beautiful group that I have the pleasure of speaking with. I found it interesting, the millennial word. I'm definitely a millennial, but I'm talking to some legends. So thank you guys for allowing me to share the stage with you guys. I'm excited to just have an open, honest dialogue. And I couldn't be happy to be here with Unc. I've literally known him my entire life, dang near.
That
is my guy, and I'm so happy to be here with you, Reggie, obviously, and Lady D. So let's get to it.
All right. So again, welcome, nephew. Again, like I told everybody, extremely excited and it's very, very, very extremely
legend
for real. This young man not just didn't go to college, he went and became a part of and remember the number one fraternity this side of heaven. So you know how we do it. But okay, see.
That's what we do.
So that's what we're doing. But oh man, dude, I just saw somebody on here, Marshawn Robinson.
Oh yeah, we got him in the building.
What's up? I may need to send him the link if he can come on here. That'd be good to have him on here too. But like I said, I'm extremely excited about this young man. He is God. He's done so much with his life and his talent. He just didn't go to school, but he actually has made something out of himself and continues to prosper and continue to do great things. So, like I said, I want to bring you on, nephew, because I want you to talk and just speak from your experience in life and where you are today, and also to talk about being a millennial and being successful and how the trials and tribulations, if there has been any, has worked out. So again, just give us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so born and raised Chicago, I start there because, without that upbringing in the shy, this level of ambition that I have now and the way that it's manifested itself over the course of my life would not be that.
Mhm.
West Side, living with my mom, having honestly three parents, which was fire, right? So my dad got remarried when I was very young. And so growing up, I literally had three parents, just as active of a familial base as anybody, right? And it was sensational to have that. I probably didn't value it as much then as I do now, having a family of my own, just having, a family that really, really cared, that really, really pushed me, my brother, my little sister, my little brother to do great things, and not just great things, do greater things than they were able to accomplish. So, from a very early age, I thought bigger, I thought broader. It was never like, hey, let's just stay in the city, graduate high school, and that's it. It was, my parents at that point, I don't even think had even graduated yet, but they were like, listen, you going to college, either you going to the army, you going to college, but you're getting up out my house. And that was just the methodology that I grew up with. They tried to expose us to different things. My dad was heavy in the church. We going to different church conferences all around the United States. We were driving now. We were eating bologna sandwiches now. Now, I ain't touched bologna since about 1998, you know what I'm saying? But, so we made it work, but they wanted us to see Toronto. They wanted us to see Arizona. They wanted us to get out and explore the world. It was like, all right, it's more out there. It's bigger out there. So from a scholastic perspective, I had always really just knew that I connected with people. And I didn't know how I was going to turn that into a career or be able to monetize off of that. But my ability to just connect with people, to just be my full authentic self, was something that I thought was like a skill. I saw how other people took to some people, and I saw how people took to me, and how engaged and how funny, that experience was. And I was just, okay, I'm just going to be me. We're going to figure this thing out. So I went to Lane Tech High School in Chicago, led the gospel choir, was heavy in the theater. And that led me to DePaul University, which is really like the turning point of my career. I'm getting a scholarship to go down there, which is a liberal arts school, 2,500 people, primarily white, but the resources that I was able to get, and I really wanted to go to HBCU, y'all. I look back and I was like, damn it, I should have went to it. I should said everything worked out, the way I was supposed to, but I really want the HBCU experience, but I was put exactly where I needed to be. And the scholarship that I got to go to DePaul also had people that came to DePaul from New York City. And it was upon meeting those New Yorkers and getting out of my Chicago bubble, I was like, whoa, this New York thing is different. It's a different vibe. It's a different energy. It's a different level of motivation than I had even witnessed, for my network in Chicago. And so there, I started understanding about, internships and really trying to understand professionally what I wanted to do and who I wanted to become. And that led me to a career in finance. So I was interning for like Lehman Brothers, working in operations. That turned into a full-time job at Barclays Investment Bank. And here I am, and I went to school early. So I was 16 when I went to college, graduated at 20, living in New York on my own, working in an investment bank. You know what I mean? So I was just, that was a wild, wild, wild time. I don't know how deep you want me to get. I kind of just gave the backstory of the way the career began, but it was just crazy.
So no. That's good. That's good information that you've given people as far as your background is concerned. So now let's fast forward. So I know a little bit about by following you, of course, on the backside, and also following you on social media. So tell me about your engagement with Facebook.
Yeah. So I actually worked at Facebook. And so how we got there is I was doing a role that in the investment bank that I really, really, really hated. I didn't enjoy it. I was doing it for the money. I was like, hey, I never had money before. I'm not eating bologna sandwiches no more. So I'm just going to do it. But I just started losing motivation. But I always worked hard at it. I really, really always came in, brought the same presence every day, even when I hated it, because I was developing a skill set that I didn't realize was going to be an asset later on in life. But I was just honestly, if they paying me, I'm going to do the job. So I came in, did it. But then I was ready to pivot my career. The greatest thing happened to me is I took a job after Barclays. I was at Barclays for 4 years. I took another job at Ernst & Young, and in 6 months, they let me go. I was absolutely abysmal at it. I was the worst person for that job. It's called resource management. I won't even get into what it is, but it's like, nah, that's just not me. And I was let go, and I was at a crossroads now. So it's like, okay, do I want to go back into finance and do what I hate, or do I want to try and optimize for a career path that I really, really, really think is going to be beneficial to me long term, something that I'm passionate about. And so, speaking with my brother, my family, I actually got 2 job offers, and this is important to notate. The first job was back in finance, making more than I had made to that point. And the other one was an entry-level job, being an agency recruiter, making less than I made in my internships.
Wow.
All right? Less than I made in my internships. Like the least amount of money I've ever made in my 5-year career to become a recruiter. And my brother, who's a Harvard MBA, super duper smart guy, had everything together. He said, yo, if you do what you're passionate about, the money will come. The money will come. And you know what I told him? I said, that's easy for you to say because you got money. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm sorry.
No. This is Tuesday, Tim. Be transparent.
Can we talk?
Let's talk.
You have money, so that's easy for you to say. But honestly, I prayed on it. It was like it was sitting so uneasy. I have a girlfriend, she's thinking about, okay, when am I going to get a ring, all that sort of thing. And I'm like, I need money for that. But honestly, I put my faith in God. I was like, yo, honestly, let me try. I know what this other thing looks like. Let me try something that, let me take a leap of faith. And I did it. And I took that entry-level recruiting job, and the rest was history. Within 2.5 years, I went from an entry-level recruiter to being a recruiter at Facebook.
Wow.
One of the most prestigious companies out there from a technology standpoint. Mm-hmm. So it was crazy that, like, if I did not do that, my life would look so completely different. So while at Facebook, it was such a dope culture. That breeding ground as an agency recruiter, that hustle that you have to have, because literally you don't get paid if the person does not take the job. And y'all know how finicky people are. Y'all know how people are. Y'all just probably watching it as a little finicky. So I was like,
it's on his laptop.
On the podcast, that's finicky. Call him out. You know that,
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm just saying.
There's only so many people on the screen.
So many people.
Y'all are hilarious. But being that as it made, like that breeding ground of being able to overcome objections, being able to use the data skill set that I gained at Barclays Capital, doing a job that I hated, and bringing it over to recruitment and being way more strategic and analytical about it than just interpersonal. I have the interpersonal skills, but I got like a data toolkit. So that's how I was able to just really start to advance and put metrics behind some of the initiatives that we were trying to do. Then I brought that over to Facebook. Was recruited for some of the most niche pipelines out there, like machine learning, little rocket scientists with PhD degrees we were looking for. And me as a Black guy, me being able to be my authentic self, that boy from the west side of Chicago, I brought that to work. And I'm connecting with people who probably have never engaged with a Black guy from the west side of Chicago, and just being me and trying to talk to them about the value proposition of them joining this organization, them being able to interface with people like myself. And I was just like, higher.
What's interesting is because to know your personality, I'm sure you being your authentic self. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's like, how does this young man being his authentic self from the west side can come and talk to me, being who he is, and still be intelligent? And
let's not say the west side like that, like it's a bad place. Slow down on that west side.
I'm just saying, I wasn't saying it like that, but I mean, I guess we're a little sensitive on this live today. I get it. I'm just saying, I'm a Black man from Inglewood. People can say that same thing about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, being from the west side, no, but being that person from the west side of Chicago, just say for Chicago, period, and you're in this environment where they look at us, and the first thing they do, they size us up.
Absolutely.
They automatically size us up, but then you've been authentic yourself, and then the language that you're coming out your mouth is intelligent, and you bring them in, so they're like, wow, he's not changing over to be this corporate guy, but he's being himself. But in being himself, your personality says, hey, I demand that you listen to me, and then they do it, and you bring them on in. That's amazing, man. That is.
I mean, but it took 5 years, because in that finance space, it wasn't like that. Like, you had to code switch. It was, oh, good morning, my name is Charles. How are you? It was like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, listen, if I gotta be that, if I have to be somebody that I'm not, I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I got to kind of be that in recruiting, you know, really connecting with people because that's the only way you can get them to accept the job. Then like I said, when I just moved over into tech and started recruiting for Facebook, I'm like, I'm bringing that. And that's what they wanted. And the tech space is all about being yourself, being authentic. Like that's why it's no dress code. That's why I wear a t-shirt and the OBO hat and my Jordans every day, because I want people to connect to like that true core of a person. It's a good person in there, but like I bring that to work every day, and that matters.
Cool. So now we're talking to entrepreneurs. So let's fast forward.
Okay, right. Fast forward. Let's fast forward.
So now you take all that knowledge and expertise from there, and you launch your own business. And one thing I know about one part of your business, because I've attended several of those parties.
Welcome. We lived a little bit.
We lived just a little bit. Somebody has to say live just a little bit. But the thing about it is your personality draws it in. So when people normally speak about parties and things like that, because I talked to Jeff as well, they look at somebody that we're just throwing parties, but you literally took that concept and made it a business, and you making money from it. So let's talk about how did you hold on for a minute. Here we go. How did you start your business?
Yeah, so R&B House Party is the name of my party. As Reggie said, a traveling party series dedicated to creating the nostalgia of R&B music, bringing people together. And that's something that brands could get behind. And I'll talk you all through kind of how we were able to scale and grow it. But at the end of the day, it was really like it was birthed out of a need to really just start rebuilding the connection for people. And college, that happened in a different way. So I was an alpha, as mentioned, the best fraternity in the world. The first one, if that one never came, no other person would be in a fraternity. That's it. But we used to throw parties and alpha parties at, different banquet halls, and people would just stroll. All the girls who wanted to be Greek, they ain't do nothing. They was just staring, watching, because you ain't want to mess your chances up. All the Greek women were dancing, strolling, rather. All the guys who were a part of the fraternity were strolling, and then all the guys who wanted to be a part of a fraternity was watching everybody stroll. And I said, this ain't fun. Like, it's fun, but it's like, I'm from Chicago where we did basement parties, everybody dancing, you get jeans stains on the wall. I was like, that's my idea of a party. And it's not this going around in the circle and everybody people watching. So I was like, yo, let's try and bring in that Chicago vibe. And that's why I said my upbringing really is I love being from Chicago. But I was like, let me bring that vibe to this campus, to these people in Indiana. So we threw an R&B house party at the Alpha House. So it was an actual house party with only R&B music. And a lot of the music that was played was by this guy that we can't mention no more, also from Chicago, who has a catalog. He has a catalog. Can't listen to it no more. No, you better not play. But at that time, he had a catalog now. So we caught a vibe, and I was like, yo, this is one of the funnest parties I've ever been to in my life. The floor actually collapsed. Everybody was okay, but like there was a hole in our floor from having that many people in our house. Like we broke all the rules, this time and the third. So that always resonated with me, that party. So now we fast forward. I'm in New York City, working, not really being fulfilled, trying to grow my career, but also having the opportunity to like flex some of my entrepreneurial skills. And so it really was my wife that pushed me to do it. My good friend, his name is Jarrell. He was doing parties in New York. He's from New York, so that's easy. And I was just sitting back watching, and people were just like flocking to it. I'm talking scaled, throwing it every month. And as his best friend, I was just like as an attendee, but I felt like I was VIP. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is with your best friend throwing it. You feel like you throw it. So I was like, hey, I'm on stage having a really blast time, having a really good time letting that personality shine. There was one particular night, but he did it frequently, and I was just taking notes, like how frequent, you know what I'm saying? One particular night, my girlfriend, we long distance, she came to New York, and I was like, I'm not gonna go to this one. I promise you I'm not. Because you coming in town, we haven't seen each other, we're gonna have a good date, and we're gonna watch a movie, you know what I'm saying? So she comes to town, we have a beautiful date. And New York party started at 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. And then we at home watching the movie about 10:30, you know what I'm saying? Looking like we're about to shut it on down. My phone, bleep, 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 bleep. And I'm like, I'm not gonna check it, babe. I'm here with you tonight, Lady D. Hey, you know what I'm saying, Lady D? I'm like, Lady, I'm just chilling with you tonight, babe. We're not doing nothing. I unlock my phone, and it's a whole bunch of different people texting me like, yo, are you coming? Yo, are you coming? Are you coming? I'm gonna wait for you. And then she was like, bro, these people are coming for you. They're not really coming for him. They're coming be you. And you leaving, you're taking money out of our household because you don't make no money from this. Like, you taking money out of our household, you're leaving me, I barely get to see you, and you like, no, you need to do something on your own. And I was like, nah, that's not my lane. I don't know. You know, I've never done parties like that before, only in college. And she was like, nah, bro. I think you have something. You need to sit down, put some strategy behind it, and at least just have the attempt. So in thinking about the gap that existed in New York, this is at the height, it's like 2015, 16. So it's the height of trap. Everybody, everything, trapping tacos, trapping waffles, trap. And I was like, yo, like, we need to bring the vibe back. Like, we need to bring that like church vibe into the club. And that's literally what my party is. And so I said, if I do it, I'm going to go back to that party that I've already experienced, that I know is a beautiful working formula, and try to do it and produce that in New York City. But also the secondary thing was, I was like, yo, I'm a transplant. I'm from Chicago, New York. Like, doing something in New York is not easy. It's like, so if I'm going to do it, I want you to do it with me. Talking to my wife, I was like, yo, as a married or girlfriend, boyfriend at that time, doing a party together that's R&B, it's about love. I think that togetherness can really be like, I don't want to say gimmick, but like a good catch for people to like want to come and feel that vibe. So the flyer, we booked a DJ, we found a small place, and the flyer was a picture of her dancing on me. And it was like R&B house party, come find love or something simple. When I tell you,
why you look like that, Lady D? He said dancing on me. Why you look like that when he said dancing?
Lady D, like you ain't dance on nobody before Lady D.
Right.
Listen, I plead the fifth. Thank you very much.
I can let that pass, nephew. Like, dancing on me, Lady D. Dancing on me.
We had to have a draw. So we do it. It was just a resounding success. But again, I have my professional career. I understand, like, yo, you got to have a catch. You got to be able to connect with people. You got to be able to figure out, like, analytically what makes sense. So I was like, yo, I care about the emails. I want to build my listserv. I want to be able to reach back out to people because they're going to have a good time. I feel like my personality is a draw. And so we started building out a listserv. And as we started doing that in New York, what I didn't realize is that transplant thing was going to help me skip steps. So instead of me having to just always just do parties in New York and run the risk of oversaturating, there's a lot of stuff happen in New York. The more you do, you don't ever want somebody to come to your event and feel like they can miss one. You know what I'm saying? It's no build up to it. And it's coming when people oversaturate it, that's when you lose your luster. So I was like, yo, I got to find a way to be able to like make sure the New York people are looking forward to my party, but also I still need to like actually make profit from this, and not just wait 4 months to do it. And I was like, yo, I should tour. And the first place I should go to is Chicago, my hometown. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't realize that as I was growing my personal brand, my professional brand in New York City, that the Chicago folks was watching. I'm on Facebook. I'm working for Facebook. I'm posting the parties and people looking through recaps like, yo, I want to go to that. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith. Nobody in Chicago really, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know. Like, I just took a leap of faith, put my own money on the line, booked the venue and said, hey, just FYI, babe, there's a chance we might lose a couple thousand if this don't go well. Let me be clear, but let's just try it. And I was able to do a party in Chicago. Same thing happened. A Lane Tech alum pulled up, family pulled up. We made it a vibe. They had that experience, and everybody was like hungry for R&B house party. And so to that point, because I did it on my own, nobody had proprietary rights. Nobody had nothing because I did it with no support. It was something me and Shireen did together, me and my wife. So then you fast forward maybe about 6 months. People were seeing it. I was marketing it well. I always paid the money that I needed to be able to get the video recaps. And that's why I'm so impressed by this platform. When you put the money into it and people, you know what I mean? That matters. Even if you don't have 10,000 views, I was not getting 10,000 views at that point. You know what I'm saying? But if you were to send it to somebody who has some influence, who had a budget and they saw high quality, they thought that it was high quality. So a friend of mine worked at Revolt TV, showed his boss, like, yo, this could probably be a good after party for like a festival. And they were doing one in New York. It was, I forgot the name of the festival. But they did like a festival in the summer New York, and they asked me to do their after party. And I was like, you know, I charge at the door, this, that, and the third. They were like, oh, no. We want it to be free. Here, we're just gonna give you a check for you to just do it and how the people come. I said, wait a minute. You mean I ain't got to stress? You mean I know the money I'm getting before I even step into the door? And that's when it clicked and said, bing, Partnerships. That's what it is. That's the lane. That's the angle. I want to work with partners. There's no better feeling than going into it already knowing you're good.
Listen,
So
no better feeling.
It just happened earlier in that first year based off of me taking the leap and just doing it. And I was like, yo, a lot of these brands, even when you have a crazy fire concept, they're not initially trying to support it. But if you could show that you did it already, they'll throw you the bag for it. So I did it in New York, partnered with them out of this world. They were like, yo, we enjoy working with you. We have Lollapalooza coming up in September. Have you ever done something in Chicago? Ding, ding, ding. Already has something in Chicago. So not only was I able to partner with Revolt TV in like my first year, I was able to get more names for my listserv than I probably would have gotten from having like 200, 300, 400 people organically at my event. I have 1,000 people at my event. I have 1,000 names, 1,500 names. It was just like a crazy opportunity. It was like a come to Jesus moment. It was like, yo, you want to position your brand to be your brand to be brand friendly so that they know that you come into a good environment where everybody's going to have a good time. It's going to be aligned to their core values. So like that professional Charles was really manifesting himself in my side hustle that turned into a business.
Wow. Richard, did you guys have anything before I go to the next one?
No, I just love how you're proof that every step that you went through was to push you to where you are today.
Absolutely.
The coming from the west side of Chicago, what you learned from being from the west side, what you learned at school and at DePaul, the connections you made there, all of those connections put you where you are and made you be the person and the Charles that you are today. Absolutely. And made you to be the success that you are today. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, it definitely is, especially being from the west side of Chicago.
Goodbye, Mark Hubbard, CEO.
Really? Really?
I can't. I'm not gonna get. Listen. I'm having a moment right now. I am gonna stay on that one all day since y'all just got really offensive. I mean, like God, get that off you, sir. Get that off you. I'm from Inglewood. No, but it's so great to what's being said. It's great to that we can see great product that comes out of our areas.
Yeah.
Because we always hear the bad stuff that come out of our areas, but we don't never highlight the good stuff unless it's somebody that's got 12 million followers that can make that's famous. That can also you can be on their platform so they won't recognize you. But there's a lot of us that's doing a lot of great work, that don't get highlighted by media or even just on social media, whatever the case may be. And it's so great to see that young people are still doing a lot of things. So Rich,
not only that, but to the point that I was making, to those people that are watching, that are you feel you're in a dead end career, you feel that you are on a path that's not leading anywhere. Follow your passion. When you follow your passion, like you said, the money might not be there right away, but when you follow your passion, everything will line up. And that's the most important thing. Follow your passion. Everything will line up, and all that you went through prior will just make it even more sweeter.
Absolutely. And you also have to be careful of your surroundings and just like that, and people that you pour your vision into. And a lot of people, when people are negative, they're not negative on purpose. They just don't understand that they're being negative. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really be careful sometimes of the things that you speak out loud, because again, they call themselves encouraging you or giving you a reality check. But yet and still, you already know what the passion the vision that God has given you and the passion that you have for it. So, and I always talk to people all the time. It may not come out to the fact that you just come out the gate being successful. You're gonna have some hard times, but if you continue to, it's nothing like working in the passion of something that you love to do based upon something that you have to do. But speaking of hardship, though, young man, let's talk about that. So I know we hear about all the great things and things like that happen in your career and in your life thus far. But let's talk about some of the hardships, because I want our listeners also to understand how you can also overcome hardship as well. So if there has been any, I don't know.
No, it has. I mean, I mentioned when after 6 months at Ernst & Young, I was let go. And even in that decision making professionally, and I focus on that because that was just that was the most important part in my opinion, of my life. Like that 6 months of being unemployed, I was, arrogant about it. I had always had my stuff together, as I mentioned, internships paying solidly, you know what I'm saying, from a 18 years old, and now I'm 4 or 5 years into my career, get let go, wasn't prioritizing saving, always thought everything was going to work out, always thought it was only going to be better, up. Now I'm having to move out of my Manhattan apartment where I was feeling myself and move to Brooklyn with a roommate, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure that my unemployment was enough. So I've been to the bottom. I needed that bottom moment, you know what I'm saying? Because again, now that things are a little bit brighter for me now, I have a whole different perspective on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in your face about it. I will let you know I have my shit together. You talking to me 2012, 13, but after that happened, I had to have my girlfriend at the time like pay my important bills on her credit card. That was a humbling moment. It was like, yo, she's in school. She wasn't working. She was in school paying my bills on her credit card. That's why I did right by her. That's another segment. You do right by the woman that did right by you. We can talk now. But to that extent, it was really a drive and motivating force, career-wise, to make the choice of being able to, follow my passion. But B, when it came to like this side hustle, which turned into a full-fledged business, it was important. Like I saw rock bottom. It was like, yo, I have nothing to lose. I know what not doing parties look like because I'm doing it right now. This is what my life looks like without taking the leap. So what do you have to lose to actually try it? You know what I'm saying? And then that manifested itself in such a phenomenal way of being able to scale it. And don't get me wrong, this party stuff was not easy. I had parties where I lost money, even that Chicago jump. You know what I'm saying? Like that could have potentially been bad. I had to set, my wife up for knowing that we could have lost a few $1,000s, which was all the profit that we had probably made up until that point. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta try. Like the journey and the growth is in trying and learning about those pitfalls, learning about how you can improve your business, learning about what your consumer wants. I'm now 4 or 5 years into it, and really partnered with some phenomenal brands. I mean, Twitter comes to mind, Bumble, like they're top company, Revolt, Apple, Beats by Dre, like coming to me, paying me to do parties. And I've spent a lot of money booking artists and all of this other things to enhance the experience, only to later realize that they're coming for me. You know what I'm saying? Like after all that, I got all these bells, whistles growing. The one party that I did that in a basement in New York City, and we packed it out. It's just me and my wife was the draw. You scale at 10x, and it's still the same formula. People are coming for us. They want that experience. And you could have the John B's, the Marios, etc. But it still needs to be about that, and then all that other stuff will make sense.
So you market and you market off your brand. You became the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you became the brand, although you have the name of the company, but you are the brand so you have to invest in yourself to know that I'm the brand. I'm the one that people are coming for. I'm the one that people are actually investing in. And you do, as I said, we've been to a couple of the parties and we had
and that's the thing. It was like I had people early on, you got to trust your own vision. And you mentioned talking about like you can't tell everybody everything. Like I wouldn't have ever scaled if Shireen was like, nah, you shouldn't. That's a big risk. We made a couple thousand. That's more than we ever thought. Like if you have people that think small in your corner,
right,
then you want this is gonna mess up your thought. I was like, nah, I think we could scale this. I think this could be a nationwide brand. I don't have to have 5,000 people at every event, but if I have 500 in every city, I sound like my math could add up pretty solidly. You know what I'm saying? So having somebody who was a thought partner, who thought big like me, was important. And there was one more thing. Geez, I just lost my train of thought. Oh man, I was going somewhere. Dang it, I had something. Okay, I'll get back to. Hopefully, it comes back.
Yeah, well, let me talk and let the old people talk, and then maybe they come back to the young grain. Okay, how about that? So go ahead on and talk, Lady D. I said let the old people talk. That's your turn. That was your cue. Oh, you
Y'all are on with it, Dan. I love it.
So listen, okay, so nephew, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So now we're 2020.
Yeah.
Now, and I know everything that you have been doing as far as live events are concerned. So now we're here in 2020 and we're facing with this pandemic that we're in. So basically everything that you do and have done is service an in-person type of situation.
Absolutely.
So my question to you now is, how did you, if you have, and still be, and if you are successful in it, which I know that you are, how did you pivot from the live sector now to this virtual world that we're in because we're doing everything basically virtual now with this pandemic. So how did you, if you have, and give us any tips or if there's been some upsides of it, some downsides to it, how did you pivot in this situation that we're in now?
That's beautiful. So twofold. I'm an in-person person. Like you can feel this energy, but if y'all's in this room right here, y'all will feel the energy. And it's just difficult for everybody. But that is a every person issue, having to translate from your real daytime job to your side hustle, having to do everything on the internet. So that's number one. Now, the differentiating factor is the quality of your content. That is something that you can control. So now everybody's using these mediums, using these formats. But if you are able to better translate that in person virtually more than somebody else, you have a leg up. But then if you have the quality of that production to be top level, you are already, 10 steps ahead of everybody else. So to that end, the first thing that I did is, in the midst of March, people losing their jobs left and right, that just didn't sit well with me when I pretty much have, in theory, two full-time jobs. So I was like, yo, let me use this second business to be able to give back. And so I got those brand partnerships that I had cultivated over the years, one with Solo Funds, one with Bumble. And I said, hey, I want to give money away to people that lost their jobs, and I want y'all to support it. And I said, hey, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give our own money to start it. Like, so I'm not coming to you just like, oh, I'm not giving. You know what I'm saying? But I want everybody else to give. I say, hey, me and my wife will give $1,000. I want y'all brands to give $1,000 and pay for the event, and then we want to allow everybody who's able to enjoy it virtually to be able to give. And so through those efforts, we were able to get Bridget Kelly to sing. We were able to get John B to do a performance. And then we shared it on Instagram Live. I'm still hosting it. I'm still asking questions, engaging the people as I would live. And then we started watching that ticker go up, 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 up. Lo and behold, over the course of 1 hour, we raised $12,000 to just give away to people. So anybody who requested, $100, $150, up to like $200 on this platform called Solo Funds, I'm going to shout them out real quick because it's a platform where you can do peer-to-peer loans. So let's say somebody just need grocery money today. Something happened. You can go to a peer. You ain't got to go to no bank and have all this high interest. You go to a peer. They could charge you like 2% interest just to be kind. You know what I'm saying? Give you $150. You pay them back $152 in a month. So we saw everybody to sign up for loans. And what we ended up doing was gifting everybody's loan amount. So if you showed that you had a true need and signed up to the platform, we gifted all that $12,000 to everybody so that they were able to get some relief for the things that was happening with COVID. But I was able to get brands behind it, was able to get artists behind it. And I said, yo, you can do effective things virtually and still have impact, even though I highly index on in person. So we're rolling around at Afrotech, which is a big tech conference that I participate in. I kind of manage their events every year. And to this extent, it was like, yo, the founders, like, and one of my good friends was like, yo, can we do something virtually? I was like, I don't want to do virtual. I just hate virtual. But I was like, but if you let me do it my way, we can do it. And she said, hey, make sure everybody's safe. Make sure, there's no brand risk, and I'll let you live. So what we did was, we realized open air is more safe for COVID. Mandatory masks, mandatory temperature checks, kept it very small. The space was big enough for about open air, so just like a rooftop. It was big enough for about 500 people, and we had 50 people. So I had everybody spaced out, had a live performance, hired the most high quality recording that I could ever find, where you have multiple screen angles. We had a drone overshooting downtown LA. I said, I want to make this into a full production, but I want people to see B-roll of people there. Instead of just having a live where it's just a DJ and me, and you just focused on me, we're inputting B-roll of people having a good time, people singing along to the song that you want to sing along to. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to make you feel like you were there. You're going to feel way more connected to the experience. So we did that, and we featured it on the Afrotech platform. We had Mario perform. We had some fire DJs. And we had about 10,000 people that attended the virtual conference, and it was just super duper engaging. So now I'm like, your content's real. Sharing stories is real. Our tagline is, when did you fall in love with R&B? And, that's just like, to the consumer, like, when did you fall in love with R&B? Was it that Anita Baker when you're in the backseat of your grandma's car and you like, grandma, turn to GCI, she making you listening to, this Anita Baker song, and now you're an adult. I'm 32 years old, and what am I listening to? I'm listening to Anita Baker song. I'm not listening to GCI. You know what I'm saying? So that's to connect to our consumer. But in 2021, I'm like, yo, we can do some more with content with that. When did you fall in love with R&B? Because it's artists, it's emerging artists out here that have that song that really connected with them, and I'm like, let's use this platform to highlight that music, bring that nostalgia back in a more creative way, outside of just having to be in person, because this COVID stuff is not ending no time soon. So everybody has to pivot, but you got to make sure that content is fire and high quality and super duper engaging.
Wow. So the key part here again, and Reggie and Lady D can also contest to this, especially with the showcases that we do. The key part here is having good quality production content, because again, if you look like, and understand this, we're not downplaying anything, because everybody's at the financial
absolutely
stage, but you can take a little bit and make it seem like a lot. The production of it has to be quality, where people will engage people and people will grasp people's attention and they want to be a part of it and will stay focused in on it. Other than that, if they feel like you just took your iPhone and just say, here, I'll put it right here, and I'm gonna just sing and right here, and that's all I'm gonna do, and there's no light, you're not trying to do anything background, nothing like that, people like, okay, well, I'm gonna pass on because I'm gonna go over here to Charles because I know it's gonna make me feel like I'm a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Again, we have everybody, like you said, we're at this place now. Everybody has to pivot over to the virtual world. It's no way. And then once we get back, probably 2022, because no time soon will we be back to really as life as we
knew it. Yeah.
Because again, as I tell people, life as we knew it would never be the same, because this whole pandemic has changed the game. So regardless of the way it's going to always, from this point, we have to evolve. It's never going to go back to the way it was. It's just not. And you shouldn't want it to. At this point, you should be able to take the new path and say, hey, I'm going to build off this and make even if I'm back in person, how do I connect the in person with the virtual world and still have a major great experience? So that's what we have to look at. So, like I said, we get back to 2022 with KCB, so we all got to get used to this. But again, how you come across and the content that you put out there is very, very, very important. I don't want to keep asking all the questions, because the other two hosts, they kind of old, so I'm not sure if they.
But any other time you complain because you don't get to talk.
Oh, call him to the floor now, Lady D.
This is true. This is true because again, I don't complain. I just be trying to figure out why is it that I'm here, and if the other platform is called the Mark Hubbard Show, and I be trying to figure out, can I at least have a word? Can I say hello to the people or something? Because they be like, but they do that to me on purpose. That's what I'm saying.
We letting you talk today.
See what I'm saying? They're gonna let me.
We're getting it off today, man. It's so wrong with that.
They want to let me talk today.
Apparently,
they don't have very much to say. That's what the question. That's what it is. Other than that, trust me, they wouldn't be letting me talk. Okay? But okay, so we're here now, and we pivoted into the virtual world, and so now we're bringing things over. Speaking of that, we're going to talk about Clubhouse. I want to ask you about Clubhouse.
Yeah,
you heard about that?
Absolutely. I was one of the early access users. Come on now. I don't talk my stuff, but come on now. Yeah. I'm starting to maybe get in my bag a little. Like, come on, you know I'm in the know.
Yeah, I just wanted to sneak that in there because that I got that Uncle spiritual side of it. Just wanted to kind of bring that in there because I know a lot of people what they don't understand is that this new app called Clubhouse. Some of y'all get ready, if you're not already making good money off of it. But that's another conversation. That's another show. We'll talk about that in just a second. But so now we're here. What are some of the tips? You all really let me do a lot of talking today. I'm so proud of you guys. What are some of the tips that you would give to young entrepreneurs that's stepping out now in this situation, in this world?
The best thing to come out of this new virtual world is the opportunity to really truly touch people from all across the United States through whatever medium you choose, whether that's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whether it's this platform, whether it's Facebook, etc. Right? So while I had to only reach out to my personal friends in New York City to fill a room with 60 people when I started, like whatever it is that you do, you have an opportunity to reach out to people who come from all parts of your life or your demographic that are located anywhere. And it's really important to find your lane. You know, there were parties that were bigger than mine. There were R&B parties that did things differently. You know what I'm saying? And you sometimes have that level of ambiguity, like, yo, is this something that's a really true need? But yeah, it could have 1,000 trillion R&B parties, but nothing is going to be R&B house party because it's not me. And whatever it is your idea, that's your thing. Even if it's something in a space that seems saturated. Now everything's virtual. Oh, I'm gonna do another virtual party. Oh, I'm gonna do another podcast. Oh, I'm gonna do another this. It ain't you doing it, right? And your style, your flavor, your kind of thoughts. And so, again, you have an opportunity to reach a crap ton of people now. B, you can do it in a unique way, but it's really all about the way that you set it up. One thing that I learned when I launched my initial party, granted, I was pushed to do it, but I did the due diligence. I did the research before I debuted. I made sure that it was quality, it was a good venue. And then you bring that into a virtual world. We talked about the quality of the platform and the quality of how you kind of approach it, but secondarily, it's really about you only get one chance to make a good first impression. When you do that initial drop, your friends, your mama, your auntie's cousin, they're gonna support the first time. But if you do it the first time, you didn't put forth the proper due diligence and it ain't good, it's gonna be hard to get that support back for the second go around. You know what I'm saying? So I always say, hey, you should do it. The power is in actually doing, instead of just constantly trying to I forgot the words I'm trying to use. You should constantly just try to iterate and like, oh no, maybe I should. It's not ready yet. It's not ready. Don't get stuck in it. It's not ready yet. Just jump for sure. But like, make sure you jump as strategically as you possibly can. Talk to the people who have done it, who've been successful in it, because at that point you will garner that initial solid response from people in your network. Those people in that network are going to reach people in their network. And if it's fire, if it's quality, those people are going to reach other people. And that's how you go viral. That's how you grow your business. That's how you get from a party that started in January to having Revolt sponsor it by November. You understand what I'm saying? So it's literally the exact same thing that I did in person in 2015, exactly how you could do it virtually, but you can reach a broader audience as long as you're strategic about it and do the pre-work.
Awesome. We're gonna bring you back so you can get some more tips about how to do some of these things around here.
Man, I'm gonna start charging now. Now listen, we're gonna put up. I'm just kidding. It's just free game, but I'm always so down to do these sorts of things because it was those informational conversations that people took from me, for me to be able to learn, for me to be able to skip steps. So like, I'm always happy to like just share insight about my journey. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I had an incredible year with parties last year. Made more money from this business than I had ever imagined. Right. So it was phenomenal this year. Obviously, everybody took their lumps pretty much just a little bit. You know, still made some, but made just a little bit. But it was more about giving back for me this year. And now in 2021, I'm embracing this. I want to step into content. I'm loving this platform y'all got here. I'm like, yo, I could probably do something cool on this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always just trying to learn from people who are doing it and doing it right. And then take that and put your own vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? And just take the leap and try.
And I know you made a joke out of it, and I understand you'll never charge your uncle. You wouldn't be blessed if you did that. So you're
not at all.
No, but seriously, what I also tell people though, be willing to invest in yourself. So what if we did charge?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with investing in yourself, because we have a lot of things, we always want freebies, and trust me, somebody paved the way for me as well, and stuff like that. Majority of these things we do at Next Showcase USA, majority of them are free. Because we like to give back and invest into people. And someone invested into us as well. But I also try to teach our artists and our participants and our delegates that, hey, that's what, guys, you want to invest in yourself.
Absolutely.
You need to invest in yourself. So if it costs you $25 to come in and get some knowledge that's going to make you $25 million, then that $25 is worth you investing into yourself.
Unquestionably.
So we always got to be willing to do that, make those steps. And so again, don't be afraid of getting out there, stepping and making some mistakes, because you're gonna do that in life. That's just a part of life. You're gonna do that. About time your mom here.
My mom in here.
See, that's why I looked down at my phone. She's like, I can't find it. I was like,
what's up, mama?
Your mama found the wrong page. Lord, she old too. I can see that. I'm about to trust me. I'm about to get a text message from her now. Okay, pal, you're doing too much. But yeah,
so I do have one question. You mentioned earlier about the brands, and positioning yourself to be attracted to a brand. Give one pointer to the audience of what you can do to position yourself to be attractive to a brand.
It's a great question. So Uncle Mark been asking about 40 questions, and Reggie come in with the best question of the night. That's like a great.
Whoa!
I gotta be real.
What are you doing?
I'm not gonna be real. Can I be real?
Oh, just tell him. He asked all the
questions.
And Reggie did the good one.
That was a good one. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why. And so you just gonna jump in a disrespectful lane too. I got you. No problem. No problem. So, but all them dumb questions you just asked, he
but from a brand
all your questions in the garbage.
from a brand positioning standpoint, you want to get data from your audience. You want to have an audience, understand your audience, understand what you want to know everything about your audience, understand audience segmentation. You don't want people unsubscribing from your listserv. So knowing, hey, this party is not relevant to Chicago people. It's a New York party. Why am I sending email to Chicago people? You understand? So you want to be able to segment your audience. You want to build a deck. Like if I would have known this in 2016, and granted, I ended up having the brand sponsorship, but I didn't get a deck till like 2018. Have a deck about what you're about. Put the money into it. Pay somebody who's really good at design to format it, make it look the way that you want it to look. That's really representative of you, your brand, your mission, what you're about. And then be able to kind of dissect the audience that you're reaching. So in my deck and through the data that I've been able to pull from people, so I'm like, you want to go to my party? Cool. You want to go for free? That's fine too. Show up before 5 o'clock, number one, if you want to be free. And number two, fill this out. RSVP. I need your name. I need your email address so I can stay in constant communication with you. Then I need to know a little bit of demographic data. Are you Black? Are you professional? What's your profession? You can't do that for everything, but like if you have like something that people really, really want, they'll go through those steps. So now I was able to say, hey, my audience is 70% Black, 30% other, 60% women, 40% male. Their interests are music, fashion, this, that, because I was able to be able to do survey analysis on my demo. At the end of the year, glad you all participated globally and had a good time at R&B House Party. Here is a post-year survey. If you fill it out, have a chance to win $25 gift card. What did you like about our party? What did you not like? This, time, and third. So I was able to learn, hey, this is what's been effective. This is what's not been effective. These markets are more engaged. This means people did the survey for here, right? And then you put that demographic data. Obviously, some of that is just helpful for me in growth and understanding. You always want to do a post check on your audience. But I was able to take some of that information and put it into a deck so then I could go whether I have to finance it initially, because a lot of people want to see the success before they support a new idea. But then if you do that and then you second that with a deck like, hey, this is my product. These are the people that I'm reaching. It aligns with you here. Boom. What are your thoughts on the partnership? Or it's a situation where they will start to approach you. And what you do is you just send it in that deck and they say, oh, we want to reach out to this demo. We want this person to have an action of, buying our product or doing this. And then you have different ways of doing partnerships, especially in the digital sense where, it's virtual. My listserv, if I wanted to, I could partner with, hypothetically speaking, like Amazon and then send it out and say, hey, it's Christmas. They want you to do this. That's not what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, now you have all of the power and no control because you know your audience. You're able to recognize different brands that connect with that audience. And then you come up with the creative ideas. I'm like, yo, Bumble is a platform for either you trying to become friends, you're trying to become lovers. I'm throwing a party that's all about love. Let's collaborate. Let's collaborate, baby. That just makes sense. And this is why I know it'll be successful because this is the demo you're going to target. So if you approach it like a business and do your due diligence, and again, this stuff is easy. It's not rocket science. I literally have 1 degree. You know what I'm saying? But if you think about it strategically, you'll come up with strategic ways to engage these brands, and they won't say no.
Awesome. Thank you.
You see why your question was better, Reggie? That was free game right there. Uncle Mark, I'm sorry, Uncle Mark. You know you my guy.
Look at that face.
That was free game, though. You got to admit, Uncle Mark, that was free game right there.
Look at his face.
Oh man, y'all, this is amazing. I really had a blast with y'all, man.
I'm so glad that you can look at your text message in just about 5 seconds. Not right now, though. But, so Reggie, since you have all the great questions, you can continue on because I'm done with this interview.
Well, I think we've shared enough information.
Also, now you want to end the interview?
No. As Charles stated, well, we've shared enough free information.
Information. Y'all. I'm definitely gonna share this. I got a work call right now, literally, but I did want to say, hey, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be here. I don't take any of these opportunities lightly. That means y'all thought enough about what I'm doing for me to be able to share on y'all side. And again, this is my first time on this side of it. I've seen what y'all did. Y'all got my boy Jeff and stuff, and I'm just like, the quality of what you're doing, the in person, the next showcase. I know we're gonna collaborate at some point because now I'm trying to step into the emerging talent, and that's y'all lane. At first, I just wanted nostalgia talent. I'm like, we stepping into this emerging, we're gonna be able to rock and roll. So I'm excited about the future things we can do together. Lady D, you are a pleasure. You're the best person in here. Do not let them get on your nerves. You continue to be excellent. Lady D, continue to be excellent. Continue to be a rock star and keep these two in check. All right.
Too much. You're doing too much. Before you go, because I know you got a word call for assistance. Before you go, let everybody know how they can reach out to you and keep in touch with you.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram. My Insta story is literally Stuff of Legends. I post my life. I post my kid. I post my fun. I post my parties. It's at Beloved 1906. That's wow, y'all. See, this is what I'm talking about. Quality content. It's on the screen, y'all. Beloved 1906. My Facebook, Charles Kuykendoll. I don't be on there as much, but if you follow me on Instagram or at R&B House Party, you will see what we do. Come join us. We're about to get more virtual anyway. It's gonna be a vibe.
Love you, nephew. We'll talk soon.
Good to talk to you.
We'll be blessed.
All right. Take care.
Wow, that was good. That was great.
Was a lot of great information.
Yeah.
Great backstory for everyone that's watching or everyone that will watch. Don't despise humble beginnings, and don't give up on your passion. Don't give up on your dream. Everything that you go through will push you to where you want to be. I worked for AT&T for 17 years in management, and I started on collections, taking collection calls, dealing with people hanging up on you every day.
Who was Bill?
Right, because you didn't pay your phone bill. Wait, you cursing me out because you didn't pay your bill? Okay.
You got no business calling me talking about I'm late.
Okay, are you ready to pay? I ain't call you.
No, the best line was, I'm gonna send you something. What you mean you gonna send me something? No, something ain't gonna keep your phone on.
You need to be glad that I said I'm gonna send you something.
Okay, you better take what you get.
So there are things that I learned in that piece of AT&T. There are things that I learned in the different positions at AT&T. There are things I learned when I was traveling with Mark Hubbard on the road as personal assistant before I became his manager. There, the conferences all over the country that we went to, all of that helps me to be who I am today. It helps me to do what I do today. So learn as much as you can while you are where you are. Get as much as you can, and later all of that will, when you are in your passion, all of that it just fall into place.
And again, what he said was so. I mean, we always say it's really relevant. That when a lot of times you just work a job because you have to work a job.
You have to.
You have
to pay the bills. Need that health insurance.
If the Bible says something, both of y'all ministers, so y'all know what the Bible says. You know, I don't really like that.
He don't work. Man, don't work. Don't eat. Sorry.
Exactly. Work by the day.
I told y'all. See,
the night cometh. No.
I know Jesus' weapon. We done. So
can we pass the plate now?
Right.
Yes, no, y'all don't gonna get in on my offering. Your own church, your own platform. You ain't gonna get in on my offering. But
out of this church.
I'm sick of this church.
Church too.
But what I'm about to say is that a lot of times we have done that. We have done and worked in a lot of capacities that we had to, because I mean, unless you're just lazy and don't want to do nothing, and do nothing about yourself, or the case may be, you're not going to do that. But most people who are out there, hustling and stuff like that. If I got to take a job driving Uber, if I had to take a job selling newspaper, storing newspaper, the case may be, you have to do what you have to do to survive in order to get to the place. And I like to tell people a lot of times, even doing the stuff that you love to do, sometimes you may have to have a 9 to 5 while you're doing your passion until you get to the point where your passion can take care of you by itself. Don't let nobody
rush you off your 9 to 5.
Listen, my girl Latisse Pace from the Pace Sisters, she's seen with Don Lawrence and stuff like that. I watched her. I read her post today on Instagram, and I guess she worked at Amazon. And it was like, "You too famous to work at Amazon." She said, "Since when?" You know what I'm saying?
Bills to pay.
You know what I'm saying? So listen,
Hey,
Tyra. See, we need Tyra on the Tuesday tips, but Tyra, she's the big wig, so she be working during these days. You know what I'm saying? She be working the daytime. Nah, she gonna get me again. God, I love her.
She'll see you on Saturday. She'll get you.
You don't have to gas her up. She's
that's right, Mark. Don't let anybody take you and tell you to stop working your 9 to 5. Work your 9 to 5 as long as you can.
As long as you can, and as long as it do, until it gets you to the place where you want to be. I had to do it. Some of us probably need to go back to this pandemic if we could.
LinkedIn, who hiring?
My point is to never let anybody talk you down about that, because again, you have to do what you have to do to survive. But once you get in that place where you are actually working in your passion, then you get to the point where you make money off of it, and stuff like that. Then you have more of a love for it, you have more of a drive for it. Like, I don't have a problem getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning just to do something like this or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is my passion or love for what I do. In case of me, because I love now at being at the point, especially before the pandemic happened, to be at a point where I was able to do what I love, being able to sow back into people. We all suffering right now, and a lot of us in a not a bad position, but I always thank God for the position that I'm in, because there are people that are out here that's way worse off than where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So I don't complain about anything that's going on in my life right now, because I literally watch the news and we see thousands of cars of people that just want to get something to feed their family. You know what I'm saying? Just to feed their family, and I have a roof, and as I stay in my brother's house, I stay in the basement. But hey, I got a roof on my head. You know what I'm saying? So and if you see me now, I have not missed a meal. Trust me. But my point behind it is that I'm not scrambling for food, but there are certain people that I have doing they're scrambling for, and I don't want me to take the show that way, but they are, because they're not in a position where most people are. So in a position that you are, be grateful, especially if you have anything during this time. Be grateful for the position that you're in, but don't let anybody downplay you, talk you down, because you have to do what you have to do in order to get where you need to be going. So, but it was a great conversation. Yeah, that was my sermon for today. So that's down to my church trying to take my offering. I need my offering. Cash App, Kobe Hub. Don't let nobody take y'all wait to your own church. Get your own church. Stay out of mine.
When your church pay you, though, we get paid. So look, pay.
So you might want to keep my cash up there all the time, because when y'all get paid, when our church pay me, could y'all pay me, please? Huh? But seriously, no. Again, we want people to really exercise the gift that God has given you, but don't be afraid to step out, but be wise when you step out. That's the other thing too. You have to be wise. Even before the pandemic, you have to be wise. So know that God has blessed you, and it's okay to make sacrifices, but make sure make wise decisions and wise choices when you're doing that. Have something to say. If this something happens, I still have something to fall back on. Because I've seen a lot of people. You got 7 kids and you want to quit your job. Why are you doing that? Hold up. You okay? You got a wife and 7 kids. You sure you want to do this right now? And I'm not saying that God can tell you that, but make sure you make a wise decision, because you still got, including yourself, 9 mouths to feed. So therefore, and it's good to have a support system, but make sure that you're making good decisions. So, but anyway, guys, it was a great Tuesday tip today, and we got one more tonight. Maybe we can get Tara to come on that one tonight. She is going to so get me for real. Oh yeah, it's at 7 o'clock. She be taking a nap. You right. She be knocked out. She would be good and sleep. Gosh, she is gonna get job. I didn't say that, Tara. They did. She be good and sleep. Oh,
got nap at the time.
She be good and sleep. Talking about hello. But that's this guy. But speaking of tonight, come back tonight. Again, we just met this young man and met him recently at a gathering, and just follow him on his life coaching. And so he calls it something different.
Transformational.
Yeah, transformational coach. So we're going to be talking to him tonight about some things about his business and about transformational coaching and how to make it through the situation that we're going now with this pandemic, when we're at a grim milestone of over 300,000 lives has been lost, and they're expecting the numbers to go up even more. So,
and we have a president that is more concerned about an election that he lost being fraudulent than concerned about anything that's going on with COVID-19.
Well,
Okay.
as of yesterday, so we're not going to get into that because I don't want to get kicked.
Because it's the longest election ever.
Yes, sir.
The longest. How many times do we need to does somebody need to tell you you lost? How many times?
How many times I need to count these same votes?
What language do they need to speak it in for you to understand it? Dum. I mean,
you lost. Go home.
But then the flip side of that, though, this is really scary because it's an attack on our democracy. But
it's an attack on our democracy.
Also, it is putting people in a really dangerous situation because while he's been in office, has always spewed nothing but hate.
Right, and while we're laughing at it, while we're laughing at the him being, the idiot that he is, there are some people, 70 million at least, that believe.
Yes.
That he's right. That believe that he fraudulently lost this election. Really?
So, and they're really taking a lot of this to heart and acting on it. And he's not coming on saying anything like guys, which we don't expect him to do because he loves attention of always being someone on his side. But the hatred that is just profoundly putting out there. It's really putting people's lives at risk and in danger. And so it's the sad part about it, even him outside of his office when he's gone, it's still going to have a trickle down effect on the next cycle until people can actually come to the point and realize that, hey guys, we really do as a country need to come together. We can agree to disagree, but at the point of time, we still need to come together and know that, we are here for one another because we all, regardless of what you did, have to survive through this. So this is Tip Tuesday. My tip for everybody that's out there today is, again, do your homework and make sure that you understand that this election or this process, again, was fair. Again, do your homework and stuff like that. And then the other tip is, hey, my tip to you, again, sit back, relax, breathe. Let's work together as one country. Let's work together. That's my tip.
A lot divided for the last 4 years. We need to work together.
Need to work. So I just want to stick with the model of Tip Tuesday. So I wanted, because we ramped off on that election. So I want to stand back. We need to give them a tip about why we was wrapping off on the election again, because you bring that up, everybody gets a little upset.
That's a whole nother show.
A whole nother show. We could have had like 5 presidents as long as this election has been going on.
Somebody said last night, it seems like we're on our 62nd president, based on all of that has happened.
But see, this is the thing about it, I don't understand, and then I'm gonna stop for real. But you have to realize, if the election was fraudulent, then everybody that's won, especially the people that won the House,
all of the races,
well, none of them really won.
Right. So everybody's on the same ballot. So all you Republicans that got seats now in the House, that means that you're illegitimate as well. So while you try to support something, remember this: that you're saying that you didn't really win either. I'm just saying. So if it was just, it just wasn't like we had 2 separate elections, just an election for the president, and then everybody else had the election.
One ballot for him,
and
one ballot for everybody else. No, one ballot. So if everybody else on that was fair, guess what?
Right. So we don't need a runoff in Georgia. The Democrats won.
Right.
I mean, it's one ballot. So okay, anyway. All right, again, we didn't went off subject again. We do that a lot. We can say that for when the wizard come on her, the wizard Tara, so she can get all y'all straight
That's
about
why
it.
we have no any time for these shows.
We never have any times, right? I think my nephew probably have a work call. He was just like, listen, I'm talking now. He had a work call for real. But again, thanks Charles for coming on. Great young man. He's doing a lot of great things with his life and his career, and that's literally helping the next generation. So guys, tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be right back here with Tuesday Tip with Adonis. What's his last name?
Johnson.
There you go. And what's the name of the topic for tonight?
I am my life coach.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at the teamwork. Come on, teamwork makes
We
the
be
dream.
doing somewhere sometime. Why he looking like this?
Because I don't know. What did you say?
I said we be doing some work sometime.
That's why I look like that. Because y'all just got this. And thank you guys for tuning in. I'm just say that. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right, see y'all tonight.
See you tonight.
End it. End it.
You gonna say end it like that? End it. Like people can't hear you. End
So,
it. Like people can't hear you. Good night.